I've been waiting for this moment. A suitable moment in which I can show my face on this channel. And here, today, we finally have that option. Now, for those of you who saw the video yesterday, that was my game in the PGP 500. And today, we're going to be covering our entire team's progress and how the whole week went out as the 7th game has been played today, about an hour ago. Now, hello, welcome. This is my face. Unfortunately, you will look at it, and I'm here as a proud member of the TEC and the TEC PGP 500 lineup to go over the week and how we did. Now, let's go ahead and start right away with the first game that was played. Everything here we done in chronological order to help further my analysis. Sorry. Now I'm ready to begin analysis. So, first game, TEC, Oren versus Estan, I think is how it's pronounced. This is the first game, as I said, playing in chronological order. I'm quite proud of this game. Why? I didn't play it, but I did mock for it as Oren's opponent. I've never used face cam before, so this is a bit weird. I don't really know what I'm doing. I think I'm supposed to go this way more, then I'll be more in line with the camera. Now, I'm not gonna go over every matchup and like the team builder. No one really has time for that. I don't have time for that. You don't have time for that, and nobody cares. So instead, what we're gonna do is go through the games on slow and just talk about them. So first game, off the bat, Oren versus Estan. Oren leads Whimsicott Nidoqueen. This is the lead we mocked with, that we predicted would happen the most. Whimsicott does have Psychic for this. Usually in mocks, I would be running either I would throw off the Sludge Wave right away, or I put rocks up. But spikes come up here, which is fine. Encore comes out. The Silvally is electric, which is pretty interesting. I didn't think electric would be coming. I had actually bug on there as a way to double check some things, specifically Pangoro and Garchomp. But so far, I think we're gonna go on normal because there's like 7 games to go through. 6 because we're not gonna do mine because I did mine in full. Greninja comes out here, and Oren is losing his Whimsicott right away, which kind of sucks, but it's not too big of a deal. Greninja reveals that it is not choiced, and Pangoro comes out. This Pangoro is Assault Vest, and it is going to go ahead and just Drain Punch right away, and unfortunately, do no damage because Gorgeous is a Ghost type. Leech Seed comes off as a miss here, and Corkle, and gets to put up rocks. Corkle puts up spikes. I lied. Corkle puts up spikes, and gets Toxic in return for a Rock Tomb. I don't know what Rock Tomb was doing. I think because in mocks I brought like Nasty Plot Thunderous because I thought it was just a good set. Silvally Electric is going to go down here. I'm assuming this Silvally Electric is for offensive Zapdos, but I think you just because it resists Hurricane. An offensive Zapdos is pretty good in this matchup. Gorgeous is going to go down, and Silvally is going to come back in, and I believe just multi-attack really. Having 2 forms of momentum is pretty good on Silvally's part. I don't really know I don't know if you can tell, but I'm kind of just like I don't really know what's happening, right? So Garchomp comes out here, and Garchomp's in a pretty good position here, as you can see. It is SD Scale Shot 2 attacks. I believe it's Crunch, Earthquake. Oh, obviously Scale Shot is an attack, so Mew Ice Beams here. The Mew I brought was different than this Mew, but I like this Mew better. I think my Mew is bad. And Karko's just going to Rock Tomb. So Oren's in a pretty good position here. We were expecting Oren to win just because he's really good at the game. In fact, we were pretty much banking that Oren and JK would win, and then 2 other people would be able to scrap wins, just be able to find a win here and there. And that's pretty much going to be our game. I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but that's going to be the game plan, right? Oren and JK are kind of going to be more relied on to win, and then we just have to find 2 more wins somewhere else. And so Pangoro goes down here, and Greninja is about to die to, what is that called? Life Orb. Zapdos is going to roost back up to full here and trade away 50 HP from an Ice Beam on this Heat Wave. And Nidoqueen's going to go down. The game is looking like a really good Garchomp endgame, which is what Oren's playing to, as you can see. U-turn comes out here, and Garchomp is back on the field. I believe it's some sort of mixed set, and because there's no nasty blood up, Focus Blast is not going to be doing 50%. Can't do a KO, but that miss does come into play. Unfortunately, it does suck. Actually, I think that matters more because if you bring him down lower, you'll see here Shuriken comes out, a Water Shuriken comes out, and it does not kill. But obviously, if the Focus Blast hit, it would have killed. I still think you're in a pretty good position because Valley Ghost is in the back, which is really nice. But it does suck, is unfortunate. But Oren is going to go ahead and pick up the first win of the series. It was the first game played, so it was the first one of the series. Next game was my game versus Luigi. Oh my gosh, I'm going to have to change the color. Was versus Luigi. The whole video is covered on my channel. This is my channel, but on the previous video, so we're not going to go over it. But basically, to recap it really fast, oh my goodness. To recap it really fast, the game is very long, very close game, very well played by both of us, and it ends up in a 1-0 victory for me. Very good. So we start out the series 2-0, which is better than anyone thought, especially Orange. Orange really didn't like our chances here. No one liked our chances here. But we start off 2, which is pretty good. Oren picks up his win that he was supposed to, and then I pick up a win that is I wasn't supposed to win, but it will take the win, right? So we found one of the 2 wins that we need, assuming we expect JK and Oren to pick up their win. Next game, same thing, chronological order. We're going into this game 2-0, and this one's a bit close. So it's kind of like a ditto matchup, as you can see here. There's like quite a few things. Both of those have Charizard X and Landorus, along with a Fairy Water, which is very solid. And so JK, I didn't mock for him, but I saw the monks go down. It's a pretty good matchup, pretty close. Primarina and I believe Tapu Fini lead. Yep, they lead together. Calm Mind comes out right away, which is, I think, a pretty ballsy play to reveal your Calm Mind on the first turn. But whatever, had potential. Primarina reveals Specs there, which is nice. Kartana comes in and takes 0% off of that massive Spidef stat that it has. And Charizard comes in to eat a Sacred Leaf Blade. So I don't think it's like super great to reveal that set right away, especially because you haven't trapped the Kartana yet, but it's whatever. Doesn't really matter. Mega Charizard X is going to reveal a Fire Blast on the Landorus switch in, which is cool. I think we expected that. I think we have Spidef Landorus, or it was a secondary check for Magnezone. Either way, rocks go up, which is nice. It's going to help deter that Mega Charizard X. And our opponent, I believe, just fires off a Smackdown, which is a pretty interesting set. I'm assuming that is for probably just the Landorus. I don't know what this Smackdown else is for. I don't know what else is on JTK's team. But rocks go ahead and get defogged, but we do get the Toxic off and U-turn. So that puts that Landorus on a timer, which is good for our Charizard since it is indefinitely going to die soon. Primarina comes in because it has a pretty free Hydro Pump and or Moonblast, but I believe we click Hydro Pump into the Magnezone. Yep, so Magnezone comes in predicting Moonblast, but gets blown back by Hydro Pump, which is good for us. We're at a 1-0 lead, and we haven't really taken too much chip on anything. Prim comes back in here because it can eat a Hydro Pump, and it forces Regieleki in. There's a sub that happens, which is kind of annoying. Regieleki goes ahead and Thunderbolts, and Moonblast comes out and does 65% on a crit, which reveals that this Tapu Fini is mono fairy move. There's no water move on it. And so Regieleki is in a pretty good position here. Set us up a late screen. I don't know what the late screen's for. I might be dumb, but maybe it is for the Magnezone. I don't know. Everything else is obviously. I guess it could be for the Azal, but it doesn't really matter as default comes out right away. I'm pretty sure that light screen is for something, but I don't know. Kyoshi U-turns here on the Landorus, and I believe we just put rocks up. No, we U-turn back. That's cool. I think rocks up is a bit more important, but we U-turn out and we hit with a little bit of rock damage. Prim comes in here, and his Moonblast is very free against our opponent. Now that the Fairy resist is gone, Moonblast is going to chunk 50 from Primarina and swap out into Charizard. On the Moonblast, because there is no water type move, you're not really worried about it. And now this Charizard is in a really good position. So Charizard goes ahead and Swords Dances up, And at this point in the game, this is very possible that we win. So this is obviously probably a thick, fat, physically defensive variant. We can calc it off the damage we have so far, off the U-turn. So after that, it's not like totally physically defensive, but it does have counter, expecting to live. And then he reveals double dance, so it's SD Dragon Dance. And now he's at +4. And I'm screaming at my computer for him to Swords Dance up, because I'm watching this game live, but he doesn't Swords Dance. Instead, he Earthquakes into Kyoshi, which is not really good. It does give us the kill here on Flare Blitz, which is nice. So now Landorus is no longer there, but Charizard is very low, and Miltank should be able to come in here. And since the attack drop from Intimidate came, it will not kill. If he did Swords Dance up, different story. He does probably sweep there, but he doesn't. So you know, whatever. We move. Kartana comes out. It's still a very winnable game. Knockoff goes into Charizard, which reveals like a super bulky max HP sum into physical defense set, and it fires off an either Fire Blast and hits on the Landorus, which is okay. Landorus' job is this thing anyway. I believe a U-turn or Earthquake is the best play there because you reveal that you're probably faster, but instead Toxic comes out here, and and you just give the speed and then Landorus just dies. So before, if you U-turn, you still have Landorus and you still have that Intimidate stack, which means you can deter a setup version of Charizard, because it's probably, you don't know what set it is, but always having that Intimidate check is really nice. Plus you already know you're probably faster. Mr. Washington comes out here and gets a little bit of U-turn chip on Primarina, and it sacks off the Tapu Fini to the Prim. So we're in a pretty good position here. There's only 2 months left. Azov comes back in here, and we don't expect the Specs set. And I think this is Specs, but actually Expert Belt would have killed anyway, so I don't think JTK calced that set. Orbeetle comes in here and frisks the Specs. And Zard is now in a really good spot, right? Because now we don't have the Landorus to check it and deter it from setting up. Because even before, what could have happened is if you Intimidate on a Dragon Dance or whatever, you can, because you already know it's bulky, the Primarina will probably live 1, and they can fire off a Moonblast or something and then kill it. Cortana's gonna go down here, which really sucks. There's a lot of time taken, but it's pretty lost at this point. Pretty hard position to play. This Regieleki comes in here and Thunderbolts for a roll. It's a 50-50 chance to kill. Unfortunately, it doesn't pick it up. And then the Charizard are just gonna roost up and can't really be killed at this point. The roll no longer matters. And it gets a really low roll there actually. And then Dragon Pulse kills the Regieleki, and then Fire Move should kill the Orbeetle. Again, Orbeetle is faster because this is a defensive Charizard. And then Azov comes back, and I believe 2 Flamethrowers seal the deal. Yep, Flamethrower and Flamethrower. Yep, and so JTK is going to lose 1-0, which is okay. So we're heading into the 4th game at 2-1, which is okay. It's more annoying. JTK was obviously frustrated because it was a winnable game. It is what it is. You lose some, you win some, you lose some, and we move into a game that happened like an hour after, which is TG's game. And this one, it was one of those where Thunder got in the lead, got in the driver's seat very early. There were a few early misplays by TG that kind of put him in a bad position, and then it was really hard to come back from because Thunder has just kept the momentum up. So Snorlax gets taunted here, and then we get a really early para, which is good because this game is 130 turns long. Once we get like 20 turns into it, I'm just gonna hyper fast it because nobody has that kind of time. But it is a pretty tough matchup. I mean, actually, I think this matchup was actually fairly even. If I'm gonna be honest with you, Toxic gets traded here, which is okay, not too big of a deal. And then he gets and then he keeps giving HP on this Stunfisk, and I'm just kind of screaming like, dude, just kill this thing, right? Get out of there, because it makes it harder for him to break. Like the defensive win cons, of like the defensive backbone of Snorlax, Corviknight, Vileplume is pretty solid, especially once the Magma guy's dead, right? Heatran's gone. It's really good. So Knockout comes out here. No Flame Body Pop, unfortunately, which actually doesn't happen until way later. Slowbro comes in here. This Slowbro is probably Assault Vested. Dragon Pulse comes out here. I think that is Assault Vest. and Shell Sidearm comes out, and then Latios is. Wait, I didn't know any of the prep, so I'm like losing my nuts because I'm telling TG like to roost and stuff, but the Latios doesn't have a heal move, so whatever. Vileplume is super good. I forget how good Vileplume is until it like stalls out 700 mons and then you just lost. We don't know the last move of this Mandibuzz here, but we just go ahead and bank on Leech Seed or a pair out because that's what you do. TG's playing very well so far. He's kind of actually in charge at this point, but then going into Latios, lets Rocks get up, totally fine. You can't really prevent Rocks from getting up in that position anyway. And then Surf comes out. It's Surf over Earthquake. I'm going to assume Surf is there for the Heatran. It's over Earthquake because Rillaboom. Corviknight gets the Rocks gone. And this is pretty good for TG as long as you can get rid of this Heatran. It is hard for our opponent to break the defensive backbone, especially if Zeraora was gone, but it's not gone. I'm going to go ahead and go fast because this game is very slow. There's a good like solid 50 turns I feel like where Snorlax is just like roosting and then not roosting, resting and then cursing and then resting and cursing and then high horsepower, and it's just not worth anyone's time. No hate to you, TG. It's just I'm sorry. Weavile comes out here in triple, or actually doubles. Yeah, doubles into. The game's just you guys can. How was your day? Let's just talk about that instead, because this game is, at this point, once things start getting like chipped down. Like Latios is at 19% in burn, Stunfisk is at 40 and toxic, and then Corviknight's at 50 and it's now at 36, right? So this is like not good for anybody. Heatran tanks this triple axle here, no burn, and then Latios comes in on the rocks, and then it's just like this is the whole game. It's very slow, with TG just not being able to recover. Latios goes down. And we're already in a pretty tough position here. Corviknight's super low. This thing has Flamethrower, but doesn't click it for some reason. Oh no, it does click it. Oh, well, probably because it does nothing. It does 0 damage. And he's fishing for a burn here. Corviknight getting burned is like the worst thing ever. Doesn't get rid of the rocks. I'm not sure why. Rocks are pretty like bad for TG. Especially because Weavile is like really good. You can still win the game. Like it's still very possible. But he goes in here into Vileplume and just sets up his seeds, and I believe just starts, or doubles on the Heatran? Doubles on the Heatran, which is nice. Knocks off, gets rid of the Heatran, but gets burned, which sucks. This is still not too bad. +1 is banded, so +1 burn, you can still do things. Knockoff is still pretty good. I'm going to go hyper fast. Actually, I'm not going to go hyper fast. It's tough to commentate on a game like this. It's because it just is so long. I think it was like an hour and a half or something. That's not true. It was an hour and a half, but it was a very long time. Rocks are up on both sides. No one's really wanting to defog. I think it's more important for TG to get rid of rocks if he wants to get the most value out of that Weavile as he can. Even though it's burned, it's still pretty solid. He does not have a triple axle switch in except for Primarina, and if you can knock off the Primarina, you know, it gets rid of the Specs or whatever berry, probably Kiba berry. So, Mandibuzz is back in on the field. Both of them, remember, don't want to get rid of rocks too much. That helmet on Mandibuzz is like super annoying for TG. And now this is like the turns where I think, oh no, it's not. But basically, this is like the rest of the game. It's just TG slowly getting whittled away, and nothing really that he can do to break out of this cycle, because it's just rest and heal, and Snorlax is here for 25 years, and then it dies, and then TG gets frozen, which sucks, but it doesn't really matter. I think it does matter, but whatever. So unfortunately, after that slog, TG does lose. After like turn 35, I won't say the game was lost because he could have won, but it was very much. I think you kind of are playing for a choke at that point. So next game. I wasn't here for this game. It is JK versus GDTC. I don't think that's the Discord name, but I don't know. Game starts out with Drapion onto Pert lead. Pert gets up, or actually Drapion gets, Pert gets up rocks, Drapion gets up spike. And then I believe this is like I don't know what set it is, but it's a very interesting set. JK here proving why boots are the best item ever. Has boots on Mew. We'll count it. Boots on Mew. SD comes out here. I believe it's carrying like Flare Blitz Ice move or something like that. Boots get knocked off here, and Flare Blitz comes out on the Drapion. It does like 1,000,000%. But now Mew is pretty low, has to swap out. Swampert comes in, it takes the poison, which is better than Toxic, so it's whatever. Rainbow Berry is knocked off, so it can't switch into Coco and take the Grass Knot. Licky comes in here, takes 33 plus rocks, will be 2 KO, which is nice. Switches into Comfy hard on the Protect. Obviously Protect fails. And then defogs away the one spike because he doesn't really want Mew getting poisoned. Because I don't know if it has a recovery move. Iron Tail comes in here to play, which is a good prep on the opponent's part. But it does let in the Heracross. Heracross is going to head and just set up one layer. There's a lot of hazards. Wow, it's crazy. Sets up one layer of spikes as Fortress sets up spikes. Oh no, it does have Roost. And then the Mew roosts up on the Rapid Spin. Fortress gets rid of his spike. And then... Ooh, SDs. I didn't know what that killed or not. I didn't really watch this battle. T-Spikes come back up here, and the reveals that... Is that a speed tie? I'm so confused. But the Mew is slower. So, roosting up, knocks off. He's looking for a crit here. Drapion does have Sniper. I don't know if that's the ability that our opponent has, but it does finally get a crit. Not enough to kill. And then Mew's just going to keep roosting up in front of this Drapion. I believe it has more PP if that's the... Oh no, it doesn't have more PP. He's just trying to get in position where he can fire off to and afford to... Fair Blitz? Nope. I don't know what he's doing. But basically, Mew's trying to get up to healthy. Get up to full, and then Flare Blitz. Yep. Drapion goes down, which is cool. We're up 6-4, which is pretty good. We're in a pretty solid position. Coco comes out on Thunderbolts. I don't think you really want to preserve Mew at that point, especially because the only thing is faster than at this point is the Licky. Boots, once again, being the best item ever. On the Kyurem. Kyurem is sub-toxic. Iron Tail, of course, from Licky is not going to let that get a free sub up. JK is just going to roost on the Iron Tail. It doesn't really have enough to break sub, but an iron defense drop, or a physical defense drop. Heracross comes in to eat that and get poisoned, unfortunately. And then he gets a pretty free CC here, or poison jab. And he just fires off the CC, and Licky is gone, which is good because it opens up Kyurem and the Comfy in the back. So John Lennon has done his job. And is going to go ahead and just get taken out by Dazzling Gleam. Not really worth staying in. What is this called? Meganium comes in, eats a Dazzling Gleam, misses Leech Seed. Once again wearing boots. And heals up with Synthesis. It should have enough to 1v1 that Coco. Garchomp SDs here, which is really dangerous. The only way to stop this from sweeping you is to... If that was a... That was really scary. If this is Scale Shot, I think we just lose because nothing can take it on. So really lucky that this isn't Scale Shot and that our opponent either doesn't have it or whatever reason did not click Scale Shot. I think we're okay though, because the problem is we just have to stall out damage until we're in position where Comfy can come back and revenge kill with Triage. So whatever, Comfy comes in here. Once again, wearing the boots. And I believe Calm Minds. Nope, Draining Kisses, which is cool. Swaps back into Meganium to kill it, I believe. Sack it off, yep. And so Koku's going to pick up that kill. Kyurem comes in because it can very easily take one. And 2 Freeze Dries is really good. Instead, JK roosts, and our opponent surfs. I don't understand. That should have just been just a fighting move, right? I don't know. Opponent keeps surfing. Maybe it's Choice or Scarfed or something, and it lets Kyurem get a sub, which means Kyurem is in a really good position now, as Comfy has just way more than enough HP to kill these 2 things. Keldeo comes in here, and it does have Sacred Sword, but didn't click it the first time. I see, I think he was making a read. And then Flora goes ahead and Calm Minds, and this should be more than enough to sweep, because it will Calm Mind again. Draining Kiss will come out and heal you up, because it has priority. And then Flora will go ahead and sweep. So 2-0 win from JK, very good. We have we're at 3-2 right now, which is good. JK got his win, Oren got his win, and then I managed to scrap out a win, which means out of the next 3 games we need 1 more to win the series. Next game up is Dat Boy versus Flying Beagle. That is not their Discord name. I don't know their Discord name though. So Game's led with Garchomp versus Mudsdale. Garchomp is going to just go ahead and set rocks, I think. Yep, good rocks trade. Nope, not rocks trade. The horse is going to go ahead and... Oh, that was tough, actually. The horse is going to head into Earthquake, then rocks, as Garchomp rocks and Earthquakes, and then brings it in range of Draco, which is nice. So Garchomp has revealed that it is mixed, physically defensive, and Flamethrower, Draco. Mixed set. Urshifu Rapid comes in here and chunks out the Slowbro. Are we in fast? No, we're not. Slowbro gets sacked right away, which sucks, but I don't know what else you do. You can go Steelacela, but if you get Flamethrowered or Heat Wave, it's like not super good. Garchomp comes in here, and I believe we reveal Flamethrower, right? Yep, we reveal Flamethrower, which puts this thing in range of Draco Meteor, which we do hit after living in Icy Wind. Nope, we miss after living in Icy Wind. Sorry, that's quite tragic. Steelacela comes in here on the Icy Wind and completely eats. And then I believe we reveal a physical set, right? We're leftovers, and then Slowking Galar comes in and gets chunked up from Heavy Slam, threatening Earthquake. But instead we Heavy Slam again and just get the roll. Beast Boost comes out, we get the attack boost, and Dat Boy is in a pretty good position. Houndoom comes in, takes a million for rocks. Garchomp comes in as a sack. Because we do have quite a few things that can take this on. I think we threaten... We're Boots Coco. We're faster, obviously. We Volt Switch out, and we go into Vaporeon. Overheat, which is really good for us, dropping that special attack by 2. This suggests that Ferrothorn comes in here, but instead Houndoom reveals Taunt, which stops the Wish. Very nice prep on our opponent's part, and Destiny Bond. So Vaporeon trades the kills for each other, which is okay. Vaporeon's other thing here that it was doing is Urshifu, but I think that U-turn damage revealed that it was banded or something, or was a scarfed, which is good. Tornadoes comes here and Heat Waves for a trade on Steelacela, and Steelacela picks up another kill. Urshifu Rapid here gets a free kill. I believe you just sack this thing. Yep. Shorting Strikes comes out, and then I believe Coco comes in. Coco comes in, and it's like a 50-50 here, but not really. I believe you just Volt Switch. Yep. So Volt Switch is a good play by Dat Boy. Good 50-50, and in front it comes in with a CC. Big damage reveals that we are not banded. In fact, we have Mach Punch here to clean up the Rapid Strike, and then Autumn Leaves will die to a CC or Fire move, or pretty much anything this Infernape can do. Actually, I lied, it has Endure, but it doesn't really matter because we can just priority move here. Oh, I'm like an idiot. Endeavor. I don't know why we didn't Mach Punch there. I guess it doesn't really matter, but we could have. I don't know why we didn't Mach Punch there. Doesn't matter. Game results in a 1-0 victory for Dat Boy, which means we have clinched the series. We've won. We're at 4-2, which means we have won the series. We can't lose the series, but we still have one more game to play, and it would be nice to be 5 and oh my gosh, it would be nice to be 5-2 in the first week. And so Scroach here, Munich. I don't know how to pronounce the name. I think I'm just gonna say Munich versus Daddy Dark Aura. This game just happened, but I've already forgotten it. Rocks come out right away. Rillaboom is taking some damage already. This Seismitoad, this is pretty nuts because this Seismitoad is AV, but we don't know that, which is funny. Rillaboom comes here, knock off Cloverberry, very nice. The sets are really weird. I wasn't expecting. I didn't help him prep at all, so I have no idea. I'm just watching the game. I'm just enjoying it. Taunt here, which is nice. If we knock off right here instead of U-turn, we kill this Aegislash, which is really nice. But Gyarados comes in here, which is Munich's like favorite Pokemon ever. Like he drafts this guy. I feel like every single time I see him have a team, he just has this guy on his team, which is pretty crazy. Super Fang, which is not very good. This Nidoqueen has Substitute, and right there we should be able to tell and infer that it has Assault Vest, but we don't. I don't know why none of us thought about it. Icy Wind comes out here, and then it has to be forced out because it does not want to take a Grassy Glide. Losing this Seismitoad early is like not super good, especially since it is like kind of a primary / secondary check to Nidoqueen. It's kind of taking on Nidoqueen and Heatran at the same time here, and potentially Latios. And so he decides to preserve that. Nidoqueen comes here and Earth Powers on the King Shield. I think sub there would have been so good because we do have substitute. If we subbed there, we're in a way better position, I think. But we get a sub up on the second opportunity, and we go ahead and chunk this, which means it can only switch in 2 more times thanks to rocks, and we do sack the Nidoqueen. I think that we don't know its choice at this point, but it is choiced. Going into Gyarados there would have been super sick, but we didn't. Rillaboom comes out and chips this guy just a little bit more, and taunts once again to stop it from King Shielding, or Swords Dancing, even worse. Gyarados comes in, again, it can take this pretty well, no healing move, but we do have Healing Wish on that Latias, which is nice. Waterfall comes out here and kills. If he went Silence there on the non-Mega Waterfall, that would have been so gas, but he didn't. Gallade comes in here, and this is the only time missing Triple Axle is good for the opponent, or is good for the person using Triple Axle, because those 3 Rocky Helmet chips would have put it in range of Grassy Glide. Play Rough comes out here on the Quilladin, and shit, the size is up. We already know this thing has Super Fang, and letting this Granbull get half to HP is like not very good. But Quilladin's going to go ahead and Synthesis and set up Spikes and Super Fang, which means Granbull can't super take on Gallade anymore. It should die to 2 Zen Headbutts now. I don't know if it already did die to 2 Zen Headbutts, but it is going to for sure now. This is Spectran here with Eruption. It does 26% to AV Seismitoad. And Gyarados comes in on the knockoff to eat that knock, which is nice. Tran comes back here on the double to Quilladin. And now that Seismitoad can no longer take 2 Eruptions, and DDA decides to sack the Quilladin. So we're in a pretty good position here, especially for Gyarados and Healing Wish Latias. Gallade goes ahead and takes the Heatran, which is fine. Latias is Scarfed here, so it goes ahead and fires off a Draco, which is pretty fine. Again, there are a couple ways to win for Munich here, and it misses the Draco. If we get knocked there, that's really annoying because it's a lot harder to either attack or get rid of Healing Wish. But thankfully, our opponent goes ahead and Icy wins, and we missed 2 in a row, which is 1 in 100 according to Flip. I don't know, didn't check the math. Rillaboom dies to the Spike, and Latias comes back out here on the Healing Wish, which is really good, bringing Gyarados back in for an SD, a very free, not SD, Dragon Dance. Toad comes in here, takes 6% from rocks, but is about to die to the Dragon Dance. Boosted Gyarados. Gyarados breaks the mold and waterfalls right through water, absorb or whatever. Hydreigon comes in here, it is Scarfed, and it does Draco. It can't U-turn into Draco because of rocks, and then we go ahead and pick up the kill. Cinderace can have Sucker Punch, but it doesn't have it or doesn't click it, as it just dies to Waterfall. And then this Gallade goes ahead and downs to Waterfall too. So closing out the week, we finished 5-2, which is good. I don't think we were expected to win. I can actually go ahead and check the pick'ems, but I'm like 100% sure we were not supposed to win. At least that wasn't what we were predicted to. Let me see here. Live battle, pick'ems, 500 pick'ems. Oh no, we were favored to win. Maybe in hindsight. The only one who wasn't favored to win on our team was me. The opponent had 10 more votes than I did. But yeah, that is going to be the end of week 1. The recap for TEC's first week in the PGP 500. But yeah, that is going to be all I have for today. Goodbye, God bless, and have a great day.